ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाखया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्. So this was the last paragraph that Nandini Mataji read yesterday. We haven't completed the explanation for this. So Prabhupada here says that yes, the jiva here in the material world is looking for happiness, right? And that's why all this preparation to go back to spiritual world is very much necessary because he can never find happiness here in the material world. But what is happening while he is here in the material world? He is getting acclimatized. That is the problem. Sometimes he's suffering, but he's thinking it is okay. I mean, this is all part of life. That's what people say, right? Whenever we say any problem, anything that is not acceptable, also, people will say, okay, this is a part of life. We have seen more than this. Just go on. This is kind of motivational talk that people give because of not having the information about how to end all the suffering once for all. So even to the kind of sufferings like birth and death and
ఏ,
all.
నువ్వేం చేస్తున్నావే?
Okay, let me mute those who are okay, right. So even those sufferings like birth and death, this is the highest kind of suffering actually. One may see death as a suffering, but birth as not that much suffering because whenever birth happens, people cheer up and celebrate and congratulate. But actually, birth is also a big, big suffering. In third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapila Muni, he describes the suffering of the fetus inside and the suffering of the birth, the time of birth, how the baby suffers and the mother suffers, everything, all through the pregnancy, how the fetus inside is suffering. Everything is actually very painful to hear when we discuss those topics. We will deal it in more details. But for now, like how death is a great suffering, the pain of death. It is said in Shastras that it is as if millions of scorpions are biting at the same time. That much painful death at the time of death one feels with high fever and many other symptoms. So, birth is also a great suffering. And even these two things also people say it is okay, it is part of life. Birth and death is part of life, right? Many times, whenever anyone passes away in the family, they grieve for some time and then go on with life as if they will never die. But then they know that one day everyone has to face death. But they will accept it as a part of life. This is a problem. And yeah, material scientists do discover some kind of uh, solutions like for some kind of diseases, and sometimes they also say that we will uh, fight old age, and also we will see that one's life duration will be increased. We all these things material scientists promise, and they say that we have discovered so many facilities for sense enjoyment. But where is the actual result? Has anyone till now found solution to death, to old age. No, they may cover up the old age, but old age is there. They may cover up the old age with many other surgeries and so many procedures, but they cannot stop old age, and they cannot make sure that everyone is 16 years old all the time. Right? Time will go on, and the age will be seen one at one or the other point, and the death is inevitable. So those who are intelligent are not concerned about all this, that I should be here in the material world only, and I will fight old age here only, and I will fight death here only. I mean, we will make more scientific progresses to deal with it. They don't think like that. What they think, let us not waste time in these things that which are inevitable here. Let me go out of this place and elevate myself to the spiritual planets where there is no death, no old age, no disease. Right? This place is designed for these things. So let it be here. I won't be here. I won't waste my time trying to eradicate these things here. This is intelligence. So one who is continuously in trance and do not divert his attention to anything else, that person without deviation is eligible to go back to spiritual world. So this is the only thing he can do while being in the material world. No other artificial process can help, but meditation without deviation, filled with the thought of Krishna and his attention to in nothing else. So here the word satatam is used. Satatam means refers to anywhere and anytime, all the time. So one may ask, okay, but I have so many other things to do. I have to remember so many other things. Then how can I remember Krishna always? Right? So from morning to evening, we do so many things, right? So many activities we do and so many things we think. Mostly, why we are doing and what we are doing is not always we are remembering. We are not always thinking that, oh, I am doing such and such thing for my family. We are not remembering it all the time, but it is there in the back of the head always. Actually, this is all for my family only. But whether it is cooking, cleaning, or earning, or saving, or building a new thing, or anything that is for the family, that is there in the back of the head. But daily they don't tell to the family that I'm doing this for you, I'm doing this for you only. But consciousness is there that this is what I'm doing it for my family. Similarly, when from morning to evening, husband may be or a wife may be in the workplace and dealing with so many people like boss, colleagues, and talking to so many of them. But in the back of the mind, why it is all being done for the family. Similarly, wherever your consciousness is there, that is more important than the activity. So I may be doing all the activity, say suppose I'm doing all the activities that seem like bhakti. Say suppose I'm cooking for the deities or I'm cleaning the puja room. But my mind is somewhere else. It is thinking about the past or future, something else. So that is not Krishna consciousness. That is practice for Krishna consciousness, right? Similarly, if someone is there in office and he's thinking that this will please Krishna because the family I'm going to support is Krishna's family, ultimately. If that consciousness is there, and if he's talking to his clients or his boss and making things happen in the office, then he is Krishna conscious only. What is at the back of the mind? Where is his consciousness? That matters. So mind should be always filled with the thought of Krishna. Means it is not that always we see only Krishna's form in front of us. We may be dealing with many other people and many other things, but Krishna, I am doing this for you to please you, Krishna. That should be the consciousness. There may be many other decisions also that we have to take on a daily basis. There may be some things that are not, you know, that is not pleasing to Krishna, maybe like lying, or maybe we see that and lawyers and doctors and maybe teachers also sometimes they are told by the management to do things in certain way which is not honest. So that time, if one thinks, Krishna, what you want me to do, that is Krishna consciousness. Hmm? So we will discuss more about being Krishna conscious all the time. How is it possible practically? But for now, being Krishna conscious, being letting the mind always be in Krishna's thought means not the activity or exactly thinking about how Krishna's form is, how his eyes are. Thinking about Krishna doesn't mean only the form, but what pleases Krishna all the time. I'm doing this certain thing to please Krishna. Am I able to please Krishna through this? This is a duty that is given to me by Krishna. Am I fulfilling it properly? Right? Like how a servant, maybe the owner is not at the place, but the owner has given him the house and told that you have to take care of this, be the caretaker of this. And the servant do not always remember the owner's form, how he looks and how he talks, but he remembers the instruction and he does it to the best of his ability and tries to please the owner even in his absence, even when the owner is not present to look at what he is doing all the time. But the actual good servant, he will think whether doing this will please my owner or not. I will do it in that way. Similarly, the house, the family, the responsibilities, everything to us is given by Krishna. We are the caretakers. So, in that consciousness, if we perform, that is Krishna consciousness, that is our mind being always in the thought of Krishna. Okay? So, should we move on? Next paragraph. This is the last paragraph of this chapter. Who is reading?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Sri Lakshmi Mataji.
In India, I lived in Vrindavana and now I am in America. But this does not mean that I am out of Vrindavana. Because if I think of Krishna always, then I am always in Vrindavana, regardless of the material designation. Krishna consciousness means that one always lives with Krishna on that spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavana, and that one is simply waiting to give up this material body. Smrati Nityasaha means continuously remembering. And for one who is continuously remembering Krishna, the Lord becomes Tasyaham Sulabhaha, easily purchased. Krishna himself says that he is easily purchased by this bhakti yoga process. Then why should we take to any other process? We can chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 24 hours daily. There are no rules and regulations. One can chant in the street, in the subway, or at his home or office. There is no tax and no expense. So why not take to it? Hare Krishna.
Such a powerful paragraph that Mataji has read now. So, our aim is very clear that 24 hours a day we have to be Krishna conscious. And that is why we are practicing this chanting of Hare Krishna mantra, at least starting from 5 minutes a day, then gradually increasing it to 10 minutes a day. That is why 16 rounds are given. At least chant for 2 hours and be Krishna conscious. That is a practice. And then 24 hours a day, right? So, great devotees, they do chant 24 hours a day. It is not that they are sitting and chanting all the time. Haridas Thakur does that 22 hours a day. He chants sitting. But most of Vaishnava, our acharyas and Vaishnavas, even in their sleep, they are actually chanting only. These are the very advanced stages of devotional service when the devotee is not chanting, but chanting is happening. That kind of practice they have done for a long time. And chanting happens on its own. Krishna is on their tongue all the time, in their mind all the time, in the form of the holy name. So that is how they have gradually advanced, practiced, and reached this point. There are many, many stories in other sampradayas also, and also in our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, how so many devotees have reached to this stage of always chanting. And also Krishna says, Prabhupada here saying that uh, Krishna consciousness means that one lives with Krishna on that spiritual planet, Goloka Vrindavan, and that one is simply waiting to give up this material body. That is, Prabhupada saying, I am living in America, but I am in Vrindavan. Similarly, we are actually all living here for some time, but our consciousness should be where? In Golok Vrindavan. And here, for some time only, I am here, right? That is the consciousness. I will live here anyway. And my original, my real, I belong to that place. Whenever someone asks, where do you belong to? We tend to tell that I belong to such and such family, such and such a place. Actually, that is the body that has taken the birth there. We belong to Golok Vrindavan and we are here for some time, like a guest maybe. And how the guest lives in any other houses, any other places, and he will not think that this is my place and get attached to it too much. What he will think, anyway, I am going to leave this place in a week or maybe at the max 10 days. So let me have only those many needs available for me. And then I will wind up from here. And meanwhile, I have to keep this place clean. Whatever the rules of this place are there, I will follow those. But my consciousness should be where that my real home is where and what am I supposed to do there, right? What am I there in my reality? That should be the real consciousness. Similarly, for a devotee, Krishna consciousness means that I always live in my service with Krishna in Goloka. This is a small trip to material world. I will leave this body anyway one day. And just think, if everyone thinks like this, how peaceful and how many problems will be solved actually. Every day there will be a fight thinking based on that this is real. This is a reality. This false thing that we see around us, this we think it is a reality. Someone has said something, someone has uh, taken something from me, someone has cheated, someone has scolded. These are the problems, right? Every day. But what it is all up in a place where I'm just a guest. Okay, it's okay. Anyway, I'm going to leave to my reality, my eternal blissful planet, Krishna, with Krishna is it's waiting for me. If that consciousness is there, and meanwhile, what should I do here? I should be living here also as I'm servant of Krishna. Only. I should only think of how I can please Krishna. Every action, everything that we say, should be given this one thought: will this please Krishna? Then you can do it a as a service to Krishna, right? Even in even few generations back, also we hear this Krishna Arpanam. People used to say, right? I think in I remember from my uh, grandparents' places, there they used to, even after hitting a child, they used to say Krishna Arpanam. Because Krishna, I don't want to hit this child, I don't want to bother this child, this you have given to me. But what I am doing this as a duty given to me, like how a teacher has to hit the child, sometimes to correct, because the teacher is told by the parent, please correct my child. Similarly, you have given me this duty of raising this child, so I'm hitting, and immediately they would say Krishna Arpanam. I hope I'm not hurting anyone with because out of my false ego or ahankar. I am just doing it as my service to you, Krishna. Please. And also that way the jiva, whom we are hurting, when not intentionally but to correct only. we are asking for forgiveness also at the same time, correcting and asking for forgiveness and asking Krishna to see this if this is correct, and I'm offering this to you as service. This was a kind of Krishna consciousness that was there even few generations ago, and now we have to study all the Vedas and learn it as if it is something new to us. But anyway, we have gotten this opportunity because of Prabhupada, who has revived everything again and put it in English for us to read and understand, so that all over the world everyone can understand what is exactly Krishna consciousness. What is this Sanatana Dharma, this eternal Dharma of the soul, that everyone is able to understand again. And I also one more incident I remember from my childhood, that whenever they used to wash rice, we wash rice before cooking the rice. So they used to wash thrice, you know, and I used to ask, why thrice? Why not just 2 times? It is clean only, no. So they used to tell me that it is a consciousness of, one time washing and throwing, I want to leave material world. One time washing and throwing, I'm not desiring for higher planets. Sorry, one time washing and throwing, I don't want to come back to earthly planet. One time washing and throwing, I don't want to go to higher planets. I'm not wishing that. One time washing and throwing, I don't want Brahma Jyoti also. So I want Vaikuntha. So 3 times no, no, no. So washing and throwing, while washing and throwing also, women used to have this consciousness that they have put their consciousness and their activities aligned in such a way that they remember constantly where they have to go, what is their real aim. Unnecessarily, do not just getting attached to things around, little gold, a little house, and a little fame name here. If someone has misunderstood me and crying whole day, they used to not do like that. They used to be very clear about what is their aim. Even while washing their rice, they should remember where I'm supposed to go. I'm simply waiting here to give up my material body. See? And they're always thinking, I do not want to be in earthly planet, not in heavenly planets, not in Brahma Jyoti. I want to be in spiritual planets. So this line made me remember that incident from my childhood. I hope I did not take too much time with many examples. Uh, so we will start with the third chapter, but tomorrow we will again revise the second chapter once. So if possible, please go through the second chapter today and mark all the analogies. Prabhupada gave many analogies. I purposefully did not cover those analogies in detail while explaining, because we will cover them in our summary class. So just go through all the analogies, and if anyone else explains when I ask for them, it will be very nice to hear one of you. And of course, I will also explain. But if possible, read and be ready with all the analogies of this chapter. We move on to the third chapter. So, third chapter is liberation from material planets. Again, we continue with the same concept of transferring ourselves to spiritual world. And how is it possible? What are the different yogis doing different processes to transfer themselves from one planet to the other? And in continuation, the chapter 3 follows. It is also talking about the same topic in little more details now. Okay, so who will read the first paragraph?
I will read Mataji.
Ramya Mataji, yes, please.
The Gnanis and Yogis are generally impersonalists, and although they attain the temporary form of liberation by merging into the impersonal effulgence, the spiritual sky, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, their knowledge is not considered pure. By pen, what is it?
Penances.
By
Penances is tapasyas. Austerity is also
oh,
tapasya.
by penance penances, austerities, and meditations, they can rise up to the platform of the Supreme Absolute. But as has been explained, they again fall down to the material world because they have not taken Krishna's personal features seriously. Unless one worships the lotus feet of Krishna, he again has to descend to the material platform. The ideal attitude should be I am your eternal servitor. Please let me somehow engage in your service. Krishna is called Ajita, unconquerable. For one for no one can conquer God. But according to Srimad Bhagavatam, one with, one with this attitude easily conquers the Supreme. Srimad Bhagavatam also recommends that we give up this f- fertile process to
To
measure the Supreme.
futile. Okay, Mataji, you can stop here because this is a long, big paragraphs. Uh, we'll split it into two sections.
Okay, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Krishna is Ajita. Ajita means unconquerable. No one can conquer God. But only one thing can conquer God. What is that? Love. So, how do we express our love to anyone? Through some service, right? So, once we are having this attitude that I am your eternal servant, and whatever I do, please, it is for your pleasure. I just want to please you. I'm trying my best to please you. I'm just trying my best to make see a small smile on your face. If you're happy and if you smile, that is all I want. If that kind of attitude is there, then Krishna is conquered. And who will have such kind of attitude? Those who are simple and humble, right? If anyone starts thinking in terms of selfishness or thinking in terms of, what will I gain from this? Huh? What will I gain if you are happy? I should be happy. If that consciousness is there, if someone is having those complex thoughts, then it is very difficult to please Krishna, or to conquer Krishna is impossible anyway. He is Ajita. But if one says that I just want to please you, you know, then then like how the impersonalists and yogis, they are trying hard with all their penances, austerities, like our Mataji has read, no, all the tapasyas they are doing, very great tapasyas. We cannot even imagine the kind of uh, control they have on their senses and their body. Sometimes they only shrink down to form of bones with just a skin layer on top. Also, we see even asuras can do such kind of tapasyas. We have seen Hiranyakashipu and many others who have performed great austerities to get what in return? In return, they want to enjoy separate from Krishna, not that based on these austerities they want to please Krishna. No, they want to enjoy and be competitor to Krishna. They want to be God. Hmm. That kind of austerities, they that kind of attitude, it is not going to please Krishna. Krishna can never be conquered with that. No one can defeat Krishna with those things. What can defeat Krishna? Only love, right? This we see in detail about how Krishna is conquered during Damodar Ashtakam, Damodar Leela, right? Krishna becomes a small child and starts crying and be fearful of Yashodamai, the same one who is having fierce form of Nrsimhadev, and he's like fear personified. Sorry, he's like the personified fear. Also fears Krishna in that form of Nrsimhadev, but here he will be like a small child, so vulnerable and crying that his uh, kajal, it is flowing with his tears onto his cheeks. This kind of form he takes because he's conquered by the love of Yashodamai. Yashodamai is trying to bind him with ropes. Can anyone do that to God? Mhm. And Krishna allows her at the end to do that because he's conquered by her effort and her love to Krishna. And Krishna shows mercy. By his mercy, he allows the devotee to win because the devotee is so loving to him. Like how we see a father sometimes, fathers and father have a mock fight with the child, and the father will lie down as if he is now defeated because the father just wants to please the child out of love. Similarly, Krishna is not conquerable. He cannot be won. No one can win over Krishna. But Krishna allows it because of the attitude of the devotee. The attitude of the devotee is what? Here Prabhupada says the ideal attitude should be I am your eternal servitor in all circumstances. Eternal means what? Every time, all the time. Not only when I am in temple, not only when I am in front of your deity form. All the time I am your servitor. I am your servant. Whatever I am doing is because I am want to serve you. Then it is easy to conquer the supreme, Prabhupada says. Okay. Otherwise, what? Srimad Bhagavatam also recommends that we give up this futile process to measure the supreme. Okay. From here you can read Mataji. Continue, Ramya Mataji. We cannot even
Okay.
measure.
We cannot even measure the limitations of space. What to speak of the Supreme? It is not possible to measure the length and breadth of Krishna by one's minuscule knowledge. And one who arrives at this conclusion is considered intelligent by Vedic literature. One should come to understand submissively that he is a very insignificant segment of the universe. Abandoning the endeavor to understand the Supreme by limited knowledge or mental speculation. We should become submissive and hear of the Supreme through the authoritative sources such as Bhagavad Gita or through the lips of a realized soul.
Thank you, Mataji. So
Hare
one
Krishna.
cannot measure even the space, right? And how can one think that I will know Krishna? I will try to understand Krishna based on my knowledge, my reading, or my thinking. Many times we say when we ask people who is God, they say, I think so. I think he is like that. I think there is no God. What is he depending on his own intelligence to know God? Is it possible? Say no. And Krishna will say, okay, you use your own intelligence to know me. I will never be known to you. You can never know me, who I am, how I am, where I am. You can never know me for such person. For such persons, he is unconquerable. He will not come and reveal himself to such people because they are trying based on their own strength, their own intelligence and mental speculation, their own knowledge they are thinking is higher, and they will know Krishna by guesswork. That is not going to happen. Krishna will reveal. And to whom? To one who are submissive and hear about Krishna from authoritative sources. To them, Krishna will reveal. So that is why whenever we are reading Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam or any other books, we see that some of the things are not understandable because yet we are not submissive. Yet we are not that simple in our consciousness. As more and more our consciousness gets purified, we can understand Bhagavad Gita more and more. Every time we read Bhagavad Gita, it gives a new message based on our state of consciousness, our submissiveness, our humility, our simplicity, our ideal attitude that I am servant of Krishna, I am servant of your words, Krishna. Please reveal to me. In that submissive attitude only, something will be revealed. The understanding will be refined more and more. So we'll continue tomorrow about this attitude of what can make Krishna conquerable to us, make Krishna understandable to us, make Krishna revealed to us. Okay. Thank you so much. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.